I don't think we can ever say that we're the only people in an airport.
No, there's hardly anybody here at all.
We've come down to the Campanario Centre while we're up here in Corralejo. We thought we'd try and grab a coffee, have a little walk around here, see what shops are open. Also there's the clock tower here that you can climb up, which has got some amazing views of Corralejo and over to Los Lobos as well. So that was open, so we had a little walk up there. So yeah, we'll take you around and see what's open here. So here's the clock tower, so that's where we went up to. In terms of the shops here, there's probably only, what would you say?
I'd say probably about 30% open,
yeah,
and a couple of cafes that are open. The big one over there that's normally really popular is closed.
Very, very quiet here.
And we're here on a Wednesday, which would normally be the market day, and obviously the market's not here either.
No sign of it.
And there'd usually be a little band on in the corner.
So we're at the final stage of de-escalation here in Fuerteventura. We entered phase 3 on Monday. What does that mean in terms of what's changed?
Well, the first thing is that all of the exercise restrictions have been lifted. So you can go out and exercise, whether it's walking, running, cycling, whatever you like, at any time of the day, for however long you like. So there's no restriction there now whatsoever. In terms of bars and restaurants, the capacity inside is still 50%, but now out on the terraces it's 75%. You can also now go up to the bar to order. You don't have to only have table service, but if you do go to the bar, you need to maintain social distancing, obviously.
The other thing that's changed is that you can now travel between the different islands of the Canaries without any reason, any specific justification. So that can be on the ferries or the flights. And we went to the airport yesterday for the first time just to do a little bit of filming in there just to show you what that's currently like. The other thing to let you know is that phase 3, it is the final stage, but control is now being passed back to the local regions to decide when that comes to an end. So it doesn't necessarily have to coincide with the end of the state of alarm here in Spain for the whole region, which is due to be the 21st of June. The President of the Canaries has already hinted, hasn't he, that this may end sooner than we first thought. We originally thought each phase would be 2 weeks.
Yeah, he was interviewed by a Spanish TV station the other day and said that there's a possibility that phase 3 will end on Monday, which means it will only have lasted for a week, but we're waiting for that to be confirmed.
So that would be really good news for us. I must say, life day to day here as a resident is starting to feel, I suppose, the new normal. There's obviously a few things like the mask wearing and social distancing, but in terms of things that are open for us here, it feels a lot more normal now. The big thing really is when tourists will be allowed back. We've got quite a few updates on today's video in terms of some hotels that have given us reopening dates. So we're going to share that with you, just aim to give you as much information as we can. It's been a couple of weeks since we last came to Corralejo, and we thought while we're here we'd have a little walk down the main strip. Shops that were closed 2 weeks ago are now open. There's still a couple that are closed, but it seems that the vast majority have opened now in terms of the clothing shops at least. And here in Las Palmeras there's more sign of life as well. So this was all taped off the last time we came here, but it's now all open, which is great to see. So this sign is new, just reminding people to keep a 2 metre distance, wash your hands, asking people to pay where they can using cards, and reminders that the mask wearing is mandatory. In Caleta, not much has changed since the video that we made the week before last. The only thing we have noticed is that there are a few more bars that have now reopened, and the shop that rents out scooters has also opened this week. At the Atlantico Centre, the majority of the shops have now opened there, and the cinema is due to open this Friday for the first time. The whole of the White Centre remains closed, so the tape is still in place that was there on the very first video that I did about 4 weeks ago. I'll link up to that in the top corner if you haven't seen it. I'm not sure why the White Centre hasn't opened yet. There doesn't seem to be any reason that I've seen or heard locally. I can only assume that it's down to the owner of the entire centre needing to make a decision, and that obviously affects all of the businesses here. So it may be a few more weeks until we see bars like Piero's and O'Connor's reopen, as well as the restaurants that are here. So we've filmed some very strange things over the last few weeks for these videos. I'm not sure I ever thought that we'd be the only people in an empty airport, but that's the case.
Especially in June, which is kind of the beginning of the high season here, really.
So yeah, this is the departures area at the moment. There's no restriction on who can come in here, but the only flights are intra-island flights and essential flights to the mainland, to Madrid. So there's very, very few people here and only a couple of flights a day, so this is why it's so quiet. But yeah, we just thought we'd come in here and just show you a little update as to what the airport's currently like. The airport have installed thermal imaging cameras in the arrivals area, so when passengers walk through on arrival, their temperatures will be checked. There are also 2 tannoy announcements, which I managed to record.
Please keep a safe distance from other people at all times and follow hygiene recommendations. A face mask covering your nose and mouth must be worn when boarding your flight.
We also heard this week that Spain have passed a decree which requires airlines to keep flight records for 1 month, including records of where each individual passenger has sat, so that in the event of somebody later developing symptoms, all of the passengers on that flight can be notified. We're actually due to travel at the end of July ourselves to Sevilla, so once we do that, we'll vlog it and we'll be able to show you the full airport experience from a passenger's perspective. So before I give you an update on the hotel reopening information that I have, I just wanted to talk about the general news that we have regarding travel into Spain. So as you know, at the moment, nothing has been confirmed for visitors from the UK and Ireland in terms of a confirmed date. We know this week that Jet2 have cancelled all incoming flights up until the 15th of July. And TUI as well have followed, and they've cancelled flights up until the 10th of July. At the moment, both Ryanair and EasyJet say that they will resume their flights on the 1st. The Canarian president has been given regular updates, has always said that it's a priority to get UK and Irish visitors back to the Canary Islands, but he's also referred to guaranteeing maximum health security, which he hasn't actually been able to define what that means. What we have heard this week is that there's a pilot project taking place with a number of tourists visiting the Balearic Islands. And this is really significant because it means that Spain will get a chance to test out some of the procedures before they actually commit to dates and telling people what it will mean when they travel. So the pilot project involves just under 11,000 German tourists who will arrive on Mallorca, Menorca and Ibiza from next Monday. They won't be required to quarantine, but they will have to fill out a health questionnaire on the plane, pass a temperature check on arrival, and also fill out a contact information card. So that will tell the Spanish authorities where that person intends to stay and make sure that they have contact information for them as well. The idea with this project is that if any of the visitors develop symptoms, they will be able to be quickly isolated and they'll receive a PCR test. The result of that test will be given back within 4 hours, and if they are positive, they'll be moved to another set of accommodation where they can be quarantined and they'll receive medical care if they need it. So whilst at the moment that only affects German tourists to the Balearics, Spain have said today that this pilot project can be run in other areas as well. So it may be something that we see in the next week or two here in the Canary Islands. So to let you know the information regarding hotel openings. So the list that I've received is really not a very comprehensive list when you take into account the amount of hotels that are on the island here in Fuerteventura. But it is positive news because we can see that some hotels are either already open or are planning to reopen over the next few weeks. So starting in Caleta, the Castillo Playa Bungalows will reopen on the 29th of June. And when we had a walk around there the other day, we could see that they'd repainted all of the exterior and the interior of the apartments, and there was quite a lot of maintenance work going on there to prepare for reopening, which was great to see. The other one that's been confirmed is the Mar Hotel. Now this one I did double check by emailing the manager there, because when we went to have a look the other day, all of the sunbeds had actually already been placed out and distanced from each other, and it appeared as if they were preparing to reopen fairly soon. But the date that we were given and the date that's been confirmed by the manager there is the 1st of September. So that is a little bit into the future in terms of when they're looking to reopen. In Corralejo, the Fuentepark apartments are already open, and when we walked past there we could see the door was open, somebody was at reception, so they're already receiving guests, so that could well be visitors that have come in from the other islands now that intra-island flights have been able to resume. The Bahia de Lobos hotel will reopen on the 1st of July. And again, there seemed like a lot of maintenance work going on there, particularly repainting in preparation for that to happen. And finally in Corralejo, the Surfing Colour Hotel will reopen on the 15th of August. So again, another one that's not looking to open immediately, but they've given a date of when they intend to welcome people back. The other hotels that are on the list are mainly either rural accommodations or hotels in Costa Calma or down in Handia. So if you're looking to stay in one of those areas, or you have a booking confirmed and you want to double check if your hotel is on that list, have a look down in the description because I'll put those on there for you. The only hotels that I'm sharing at the moment are the ones with confirmed dates. There's a lot of speculation with other hotels as to when they may or may not open, but I've not seen anything actually confirmed for any other hotel that isn't listed in the description at the moment. With regards to the larger chain hotels, what I've seen from them is that they're reopening their booking calendars mainly from the 1st of July, but they haven't actually confirmed that that will be when they reopen. So I think they're probably waiting to see what happens on flights before they actually commit to a date. What I have seen though is that hotels such as the Rio and the H10 hotels, these larger chains, they have quite a lot of information on their websites with regards to what guests can expect when they actually arrive in resort. So there's a lot of information on there with regards to cleaning protocols. Some of them are changing check-in and check-out times so that you check in later and also check out earlier so that they've got more time to clean rooms. So that might be something that people want to go on and have a look at. There's also information on there with regards to how they'll handle the swimming pools, so there will be reduced capacity in the pools. And things like the sun loungers will be spaced out so that people have plenty of space between themselves and other guests. In the case of the Rio, they're the only one that I've seen make reference to the buffet situation. They say that they're committed to keeping a buffet in place for guests because it's part of the all-inclusive experience. But they do say on there that guests will have to wear masks and gloves when they go up to the buffet station. So things like that are going to be perhaps a slight inconvenience for people. It will be something that they're not used to on holiday. I think it's worth going onto the website, familiarising yourself with what the hotels are asking so that you know what to expect when you arrive. I hope this video has been useful. There's an awful lot of information this week. Once again, we're only trying to provide information that we know is verified and true. If you found the video useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you were missing more of the vlog content this week, we did an extra video on Saturday where we went down to the south of the island. So if you want to see what it's like down in Costa Calma, Handia, Morahable, then give that video a watch as well, and we'll see you next week.